So, dear students, today we are going to discuss about the trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal nerve, it is a fifth cranial nerve. So, it is the fifth cranial nerve arising from the pons. Has two roots, one small motor root and one large sensory root. Okay, see this nerve. This is what the trigeminal nerve. See, this is the midbrain, pons, medulla. Three parts of the brainstem: midbrain, pons, medulla. So this nerve is arising on the pons, and it is having two roots: one large sensory root and small motor root. Okay, sensory root or sensory fibers arise from three nuclei. What are the three nuclei? Mesencephalic nucleus, then sensory nucleus, then spinal nucleus of the trigeminal. See, imagine this is the mesencephalic nucleus, then this one is a small sensory nucleus, and this is what the spinal nucleus. So sensory fibers arise from these three nuclei and converge here to form the sensory root. And then sensory root comes out from the pons. Okay. Then motor root arises from this motor nucleus. From there it comes out. Okay. So it is having two roots. So that introduction point is clear. Trigeminal nerve. It is a fifth cranial nerve arising from the pons with the two roots, one large sensory root and small motor root. Sensory root arises from this three nucleus, and the motor fibers arise from this motor nucleus. Then from the pons, these two roots runs forward. See, here comes the pons. Approximately here comes the pons. From this pons, these two roots runs forward and reaches this region. Where we are having a ganglia, it is known as a trigeminal ganglia. Okay, see this ganglia. This one is a trigeminal ganglia. So sensory fibers ends in the trigeminal ganglia. Just a minute. Okay, so sensory fibers ends in a ganglia known as the trigeminal ganglia. Okay, now this trigeminal nerve gives three branches. See, first one is this ophthalmic branch, second one maxillary, and the third one mandibular. Now see the motor fibers. This motor fibers joins with this mandibular division or mandibular branch, means ophthalmic and maxillary are purely sensory nerves, and mandibular branch is a mixed nerve, means it is having two types of fibers, sensory fibers and motor fibers. So it's a mixed nerve, but these two are sensory branches. Okay, so this is what the trigeminal nerve. Now we are going to see the details of these branches. So these are the branches of this trigeminal nerve: ophthalmic, maxillary, and mandibular. Yes, before going to the branches, we have to discuss about the trigeminal ganglia. Trigeminal ganglia, it's a semilunar shaped ganglia. So it's not a rounded ganglia like this diagram. It's a semilunar shaped ganglia, and it is located in a Meckel's cave. Okay, Meckel's cavity or the Meckel's cave. Okay, trigeminal ganglia is located in a Meckel's cave. Meckel's cave. What is that Meckel's cave? It's a depression seen in the dura mater. Okay, it's a depression seen in the dura mater. So this semilunar shaped trigeminal ganglia, which is located in the Meckel's cave. That's all about the ganglia. Now we have to go through the ophthalmic nerve. So ophthalmic nerve, it's a sensory nerve. It's a purely sensory nerve. It's made up of sensory fibers. See, from the trigeminal ganglia, it runs forward. See, I told you this is the location of the trigeminal ganglia. From this ganglia, this ophthalmic division runs forward like this. Opposite side. This is the location. This is the location of the trigeminal ganglia. From this trigeminal ganglia, this ophthalmic nerve runs forward. So here we are having the caverna sinus. See, this is the location of the trigeminal ganglia. From this trigeminal ganglia, this nerve runs forward. So here we are having the cavernous sinus just in front of the ganglia. So it has to pass through the cavernous sinus. So it passes through the lateral wall of the cavernous sinus. Okay, when it passes through the cavernous sinus, it divides into three branches. This ophthalmic nerve divides into three branches. What are the three branches of the ophthalmic nerve? See, lacrimal, frontal, and nasociliary. Okay, so imagine this is the trigeminal ganglia. So this ophthalmic nerve arises from the trigeminal ganglia. From there, it runs forward. This forward course it passes through the cavernous sinus. Okay, see this area. So here inside the cavernous sinus, it divides into three branches: nasociliary, lacrimal, and frontal. So now we are going to see the details of these branches. First one, nasociliary. Nasociliary, it runs forward and reaches the orbit through the superior orbital fissure, middle part of the superior orbital fissure. So what is that superior orbital fissure? See here we can see a gap. Okay, this gap, this is a superior orbital fissure. So that gap, it is divided into one median area, then middle area, then lateral area. So this nasociliary, which passes through the middle part and reaches the orbit. Orbit means we have to remove this plate, then it reaches the orbit. Okay, or deep to this plate, there we are having the orbit. So this nasociliary runs forward and passes through the middle part of the superior orbital fissure and reaches the orbit. There it gives some branches. What are the branches of this nasociliary nerve? See, anterior ethmoidal, posterior ethmoidal, then infratrochlear, then long ciliary nerve, short ciliary nerve. Just a minute. See, anterior ethmoidal nerve, posterior ethmoidal nerve, infratrochlear nerve, long ciliary nerves, and short ciliary nerves. Anterior ethmoidal nerve supplies to the upper part of the nasal cavity, then sphenoidal and ethmoidal air sinuses. Okay, it applies to the nasal cavity, not only to the nasal cavity, it applies to some air sinuses. What are they? Sphenoidal and ethmoidal. Like that, it's posterior also supplies to the nasal cavity, then sphenoidal and ethmoidal air sinus. Then infratrochlear, which supplies to the lacrimal sac and lacrimal caruncle. Then long ciliary supplies to the iris and the cornea. Then short ciliary supplies to the eyeball, muscles of the eyeball. So these are the details of this nasociliary nerve. Now we are going to see the frontal nerve. Frontal nerve also runs forward and enters into the orbit through the middle, through the lateral part of the superior orbital fissure, not through the middle part. See, from the ophthalmic nerve, it runs just a minute. See here, from the ophthalmic nerve, this runs forward and reaches the orbit through the lateral part. Okay, see this is the superior orbital fissure. This now also passes through the superior orbital fissure, but it passes through the lateral part of the superior orbital fissure. So that point is clear. So frontal nerve, which reaches the orbit through the lateral part of the superior orbital fissure. First point. And inside the orbit, it divides into two branches. One is a supraorbital branch, and the other one is a supratrochlear branch. Supraorbital nerve and a supratrochlear nerve. Supraorbital nerve, which supplies to the conjunctiva, skin of medial aspect of the upper eyelid, then skin over the lower and medial aspect of the forehead. See, like this. Actually, this nerve which lies above the eyeball and it divides into two branches. Okay. Now the last one is a lacrimal nerve. Okay. Lacrimal branch It is the smallest branch of the ophthalmic nerve that also reaches the orbit through the lateral part of the superior orbital fissure. Okay, lateral part of the superior orbital fissure and is applies to the lateral part of the upper eyelid and a small adjacent area of the skin and lacrimal gland mainly supplies to the lacrimal gland. See this. It is supplies to the lacrimal gland. Then this lateral part of the eyelids under that area of that skin around that area. Anyway, these are the three major branches of this ophthalmic nerve. Okay, see this one nasociliary, and this one frontal, this one lacrimal. See this nasociliary, it gives long ciliary nerves, then short ciliary nerves. This is a posterior model, and this one is a anterior model, infratrochlear nerves. Those are the branches of this nasociliary, then supratrochlear and supraorbital. And here it gives some branches to the lacrimal gland and eyelids. Okay, so that's all about the ophthalmic nerve.